This is Sam Harris. He is a philosopher, neuroscientist, blogger, and podcast host. He is most well known as a critic of religion and a proponent of the liberty to criticize it. However, in this book, he tackles the notion of free will. Harris makes the case that the feeling that we are the authors of our own actions and the thinkers of our own thoughts is merely a cognitive illusion. The basic argument is that our thoughts and intentions emerge from background causes, of which we are unaware and over which we exert no conscious control. Every choice we make is made as a result of preceding causes. Harris makes a strong case for the absence of free will, predominantly through deductive reasoning. However, he does also cite some neuroimaging research. For example, he touches on research which has demonstrated that a person's decisions can be predicted up to 10 seconds before they have the conscious experience of deciding. After making the case against free will, Harris turns to the issue of what to do with such knowledge. A large portion of his discussion centers on a more refined approach to addressing criminal behavior. He points out that if we accept the absence of free will, criminals are, in a sense, the unlucky ones. Harris explores shifting from a system that is based on the intentionality of a crime, which assumes the freedom to choose, to one that addresses how to alter the probability of offending and reoffending. As Harris states, dispensing with the illusion of free will allows us to focus on the things that matter: assessing risk, protecting innocent people, and deterring criminals. This book provoked me to think about the potential impact of drawing the curtain on free will. That is to say, would telling people that free will is an illusion have a positive or negative impact? Specifically, I am curious about the degree to which it would influence people's locus of control. Locus of control is the extent to which people believe they have power over the events in their lives. A person with an internal locus of control believes that he or she can influence events and their outcomes, while someone with an external locus of control blames outside forces for everything. A great deal of research has demonstrated that having an internal locus of control is generally associated with more positive outcomes. For example, a study conducted by Bellini and colleagues has shown that individuals who have a high external locus of control tend to have poorer psychological and physical health. The question for me then is, does believing you have no free will increase or decrease your locus of control? Intuitively, you might think that it would decrease your locus of control. Almost by definition, this statement is true. If a person believes they have no influence over their actions, they must believe that their actions are determined by forces outside of them. However, Harris argues that dispensing of the illusion of free will might paradoxically increase one's locus of control. He writes, "Becoming sensitive to the background causes of one's thoughts and feelings can paradoxically allow for greater creative control over one's life. It is one thing to bicker with your wife because you're in a bad mood. It is another thing to realize that your mood and behavior have been caused by low blood sugar. This understanding reveals you to be a biological puppet, of course, but it also allows you to grab hold of one of your strings. A bite of food may be all that your personality requires." Getting behind our conscious thoughts and feelings can allow us to steer a more intelligent course through our lives, while knowing, of course, that we are ultimately being steered. Whether he means to say it or not, I think Harris is suggesting that we continue to live under the illusion of free will, while occasionally reminding ourselves that we are in fact a puppet whose strings are pulled by prior causes. All things considered, I think this is a fabulously written short book. If you have never considered the idea that you might not have free will, I highly recommend you read this book. It will almost certainly change the way you think about some of the most important questions in life.